Canada owes a debt of gratitude to the state of Colorado. Troy Tulowitzki hits a 3-run homer last night.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to hear your sincere thanks to us for. Les and I kept pushing for Troy to be traded so he could go play in the playoffs, and everybody should be happy now. Canada should rise up.
Yeah.
Well,
listen,
so it's a trade. We got Patrick Waugh. You got Troy Tulowitzki.
You know what they're saying now, gentlemen? They're throwing out the idea that in the offseason, Tulo possibly traded because Ryan Goins, who had the game of his life last night, coming off probably the worst game of his young career, is now all of a sudden, well, at least for now, the topic of the day. He is the man of the hour, and many believe that because of his skill set, he could easily slide into the shortstop position when Devin Travis comes back next season. Travis was fantastic, probably a Rookie of the Year candidate until he got injured. So what the thinking is, and sadly we have fans here who are so new to this playoff thing that they are thinking ahead to next season, almost preconditioned as they have been in years past because they have had no team with postseason aspirations. So what's happened is there's this conceptualization that you'll have Goins at short, Devin Travis at second, and Tulo will net you something somewhere else, plus his big contract moves out. But I'm saying, listen, Tulo's never really been able to get his feet under him in Toronto. He came onto a phenomenon that was really picking up steam. He's been a good contributor, but not necessarily one of the top 2 or 3 players on the team. So I'd like to see how far this run goes and let him get a full season in Toronto under his belt, hopefully injury-free, and we'll really get a chance to see that 300 hitter, that guy with the 800, 850 OPS, and really one of the great gloves of the game. Because let's face it, guys, he doesn't have too many years left before he starts to travel the downward trend of his career.
Is he getting criticized for getting thrown out of the game last night?
I'd say it's 50-50. You have people who will always just kind of throw out that obligatory, let's have more class, or let's just keep our mouth shut. But this is a psychological battle between players who have huge egos and umpires who have huge egos. They are sort of the parental guidance on the playground with all of these millionaire egomaniacs. And in order to combat that, these umpires have to have egos either the same size or greater. And the fact that Tulo was standing at third base ready to take warm-ups before the inning began, and John Hirschbeck throws him out from 100 feet away, I thought was inappropriate. I didn't think it was needed, especially at that point of the game. However, there has to be this sort of chip on the shoulder for any aspiring umpire to get into that club. And you have that chip in the shoulder, you take the oath, and forever, whatever you do as an umpire, you have an axe to grind, you have a chip on your shoulder. It seems like you're angry every time you step in between the lines. And if somebody catches you on a bad day, you're in trouble. And even in the ALCS, Game 3, Tulowitzki got booted from the game. And I'm on Tulo's side in this case, but there are still some people who would say, keep your mouth shut, it's the playoffs, so what does that say?
Well, but he can't ever keep his mouth shut. He bitched every time he got called out when he was here for years and years. I do think, though, that in this case, the umpire, I have a feeling that Hirschbeck thought, well, this game's over. I can throw him out.
Not against Kansas City, and that's why I blame Tulo a little bit. Those Royals are grinders,
Well,
it's never safe.